because none of these have hit me. Yeah. I'm really good at avoiding
so
shit.
Good.
Like, I'm just behind the wheel.
So evasive.
Yeah. Like, that's what's going through my mind when I'm not going, oh my God, I'm in fucking space. The snow clears just in time for me to see a DUI checkpoint. And I immediately have to shit. That's my go-to in life. I got to go sit down and take a shit.
Is that your cure for anxiety?
It's not a cure. It's a result of my anxiety. Like, I don't get panic anymore. Like literally, if the dentist goes, okay, when he comes to have a seat, I'm like, I'll be right back. I got to go pee out of my butt, and then I'll come back. But I can't. I'm afraid because there's cops, and I don't have a license for driving in hyperspace.
Yes.
They're going to bust me.
Sure. You didn't get your license from Tatooine.
No, I did not. Very nice. So Kevin Smith will be very happy about that. So I'm going, oh my God. And like you said earlier, like, what if the movie's rented? I start going, if he asks me for my license, what am I going to give him? And I'm like, give him your license. I can't give him my license because then he'll know my name. Like, that's how fucking crazy you are. And it's, they're about 100 yards away, and I see the cones going from 4 lanes to 2 lanes, 3 lanes to 2 lanes, and then 2 lanes to 1 lane, and I'm just bumper to bumper waiting to get there, and there's 2 cops standing on the side of the road, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. You do the crime, you do the time. Be a man. And I get right even with the cops. And this is how high I was. I only listened to trios, Nirvana, the James Gang, and the Police, because I didn't think bands with 4 or more people would fit in my speakers. I had Pearl Jam. I had Pearl Jam's first album, and I'm going, there's fucking 5 guys in Pearl Jam. I can't put them in here. They'll be on top of each other. Yeah. Fucking James Gang, 3 guys. I know Joe Walsh is high. Just don't fucking crowd it.
Yeah.
That's how high I was. I don't need 5 guys in my speakers. That's going to be a fucking mess. I pull up to the cops, and I don't trust my foot how it will behave on a brake. I'm afraid I'm just going to gun the engine and go into the woods by accident.
So you're now braking like a 15-year-old who has his learner permit. You're just like almost on hydros.
Almost, yes.
Yeah.
So what I do is I get to where the cop's standing, and I fucking just put it in park. I take that responsibility out of my hands and off my foot. Mm-hmm. And I say, fuck it. I keep my seatbelt on, and I turn my body towards him, and I roll my window down. And I realized my window's already down, so I actually rolled it up in his face. And then I roll it back down, and I'm saying to myself, he's got mirrored sunglasses on, and I think, I wonder if he has eyes.
At this point now, you're getting, with every move, where you're botching stuff up, you're getting more and more nervous, aren't you?
Every move I make is letting him know I'm tripping my fucking balls off.
Right.
I put it in park. I roll the window up in his face. The James Gang, for some reason, he's going to know Joe Walsh does drugs, therefore I do drugs.
Sure.
In the James Gang. So I roll the window back down.
You should have had some Everly Brothers on the ready.
Every day.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, nice. And in hindsight, that's really what we're trying to explain to you guys on More Stories. Always have the Everly Brothers in your car, just in case. So I pull up, and I look at him, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm fucked. I wonder if this guy has eyes, because he's got mirrored sunglasses. And then I get on this, tangent in my mind, that's why they all wear fucking sunglasses with mirrors in them, because most of them probably don't have eyes. That's probably how you become a cop, because you don't have eyes. And I'm thinking, I gotta stop, because I don't know if I'm saying this out loud like Mitch Hedberg and KP Anderson. Right. So I just stopped thinking entirely. I turned my brain off, and I just faced the cop, and the cop's facing me, but he's not talking. And I'm like, well, he's probably not talking because he's about to shoot me. And another cop comes over, and he leans into my window, and he says, go! It wasn't a DUI checkpoint.
It was just
they
cops.
Just went down to 1 lane, and cops were standing there, and I put all the rest of the and in my mind, I made it that.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
He just leans in my, and he was literally maybe 5 inches from my face. He had fucking had it with people thinking, I don't know what, but he had it with, maybe he was a week from retirement.
Well, he's outside in the snow. He's probably just
he just got in my fucking car and went, go! And then I just drove away, and I swear to God, you get so high, and I know you can attest to this, where you get to a stop sign or a red light, and you realize, I have no idea what the last half hour was.
Yeah.
Like I remember time.
It's just like if you can imagine, we've never gotten that high. It's just like when you were a kid and you'd read a book and you'd go 40 pages. And you're like, I don't remember one word. You're now taking the chance to stop and look at what I've retained from the book. I don't remember a damn thing of what I've just read, and I've been reading for an hour and a half. That's what life is like when you get high enough, where you look back, you stop, you look, you're like, wait, I don't know what went on.
Let me take it up a notch. In the wintertime, you fall asleep, it's daylight for a nap, and you wake up, it's dark out, and you don't know what fucking day it is. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I fell asleep at 3:30. The sun was out. Now it's 5. It's fucking dark out. You don't know, like, what color is it? You don't know what's happening.
I used to hate that, the Jersey and, like, New York winters, where you like, sometimes you go out partying, you come home at 10 a.m., you wake up at 10 p.m., you can't really tell the difference, like, sometimes, because it'd just be debilitating, January snow, where it's that way for 3 months,
I love, Mike, that when you partied, you took it up a notch. Every step of your life, you never missed an opportunity to take it up a notch.
Yeah.
And that's what life's about.
That's what it's all about.
Life is about, if you're going to be a comic, get better and better at being a comic. If you're going to be a doctor, become such a great surgeon that you're the only guy they can call. And what people that aren't addicts don't realize is that when you're an addict, you have to take it up to be better than the next guy.
Eventually, at some point, you realize my body is house money, and I can't leave anything on the table.
You're just going.
Just playing.
And then one day you stop and you realize. I think the hardest thing for me to get through my mind when I quit drinking was it's normal to be at home watching TV on a Friday night.
Oh, Jay Mohr, I used to get so angry at people going to work at 7:30 in the morning when I would be like trying to, stumble home. Now you realize at 32 years old with a job and a life and a house and everything, you're like, no, that's how life's supposed to be. Yeah. You're supposed to pepper in nights out on the town with many, many nights of staying home with the family and watching, The Office or whatever. That's how life is. And then you highlight that. You lightly punctuate that with bam. A concert where you go out and you stay out a little later.
There's a reason Emerald says bam.
Yeah, bam.
Because it's once in a while time.
Yeah. Life has to be the Roberto Durant jab. Not the over the top, right.
Tommy Hearns right.
Yeah, you can't live that way day in and day out. You have to have the work the body and then pepper in the Tommy Hearns Widowmaker.
We've learned a lot. We've learned that the hole inside your body, that's you. And that's what you got to live through. We've learned you got to take it up a notch. We learned that we miss football players that do coke and smoke pot.
Yes.
And we've learned that you have to season in your drugs with the boringness of life.
Yes.
And I'll go so far as to say this. Life is fucking boring, but you can settle into that boredom where it's delightful.
Right.
Like if you told the using me that I'm going to lay in bed most nights watching Dateline NBC Murders and watching Toddlers and Tiaras in bed next to my wife and best friend and have one vagina for the rest of my life, I would have went, that's crazy. Then when you're living it, you go, oh, this is fucking great. All I want to do, oh my God, it's a Law and Order with Lenny Briscoe. It's an old one. Good. Yay.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Life, when you get to be mature, you realize is like a perfectly tailored suit. You don't really need much else. Once you hit it in stride, because when you're 20, you want Michael Irvin's 14-button pinstripe with green highlights. But what you realize is it's actually a 2-button Hickey Freeman with no frills. Like, that's what's going to take you through.
Life is a perfectly tailored suit, and eventually, if you're lucky, my friends, you reach the age where you realize, as Mike Catherwood put it, you don't need much else. Get yourself a handful of friends you can count on one hand. 2 of mine are in this room. Eddie Cohen, thank you. Mike Catherwood,
of course,
host of Loveline.
Thanks, buddy.
Check that out. And remember, put your name on it.
Find more funny shit like this at smodcast.com.